Okay, you're going to want to listen to this. I'm about to lay out the exact plan that thousands of regular people are using to literally buy back their own freedom decades before they're supposed to. And no, this isn't about some crypto scam or winning the lottery. This is pure, simple math. And today, I'm giving you the formula.
See, you've been told your entire life that retirement is an age you have to reach, 65, maybe 67. That is just not true. Retirement is a number. It's a specific mathematical figure, and once you hit it, you are free. And I'm willing to bet that number is way, way lower than you've been led to believe.
So, before we get to the actual plan, we first have to understand why the old one is such a trap. Let's just quickly tear down the system that we've all been sold our entire lives.
So this whole idea of retiring at 65, it feels ancient, right? Like it's always been this way. But it hasn't. It was invented back in the late 1800s. And get this, back then, the average person didn't even live to see 50. The system was literally designed assuming most people would die before they could ever collect a penny. We're living in a completely different world now, but we're stuck playing by a rulebook from over a century ago. It's totally broken.
Okay, and this is the first big mindset shift we have to make. When I say retire early, I don't mean you're going to go sit on a beach and do nothing for 50 years. Come on, you'd be bored out of your mind. It means financial independence. It means your investments pay for your life, so work becomes a choice. You can work on things you love, you can start that business you've always dreamed of, you can take a year off to travel, all because your survival no longer depends on a paycheck from a boss.
All right, now this is where it gets really good. We are getting to the heart of it all. The simple math that unlocks this entire idea. No more guessing games, no more fuzzy goals like be rich someday. Let's find your exact number.
So, what is it? What's the magic number? You know, most people's brains immediately jump to, oh, I'll need like $5 million, and then they just give up right there because it feels totally impossible. Well, that's a myth. The real number is based on one thing and one thing only, how much you spend every year.
This whole thing is based on a famous study that created what we call the 4% rule. It basically found that you can safely take out 4% of your invested money every single year, and mathematically it should never run out. So to find your number, we just work backward. You figure out your annual expenses and multiply by 25. Let's just use the example here. Say you need $2,000 a month to live, that's $24,000 a year. Multiply that by 25.
And boom, there it is, $600,000. That's your freedom number. Now, for so many people, seeing a number like that, it changes everything. It turns this from some impossible fantasy into a real, concrete target. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still a chunk of change, but it's not a lottery jackpot. It's a real number you can actually plan for.
Okay, so knowing your number, that's the easy part. The real question is, how does a normal person get there in, say, 10 to 15 years instead of 40? Well, this is the blueprint. It's intense, I won't lie to you, but it is proven to work.
Step 1. You have to save like you mean it. Seriously, the single most important factor here isn't what you earn, it's your savings rate. That's the percentage of your income you actually keep. Traditional advice says, oh, save 10%. That'll get you retired in maybe 45 years. The FIRE method, the method we're talking about, it says you need to shoot for 50% or more. And this creates this amazing double whammy. You're saving a ton of money right now, and you're also training yourself to live on less, which lowers your freedom number for the future.
Step 2 is what you do with all that cash you're saving. And you do not need to be a Wall Street genius or gamble on some hot stock tip. In fact, the method that works for almost everyone is, well, it's wonderfully boring. You just consistently, month after month, no matter what, buy low-cost index funds or ETFs that track the entire market, like the S&P 500. Your only job is to just keep buying and let time and compound interest work their magic. That's it.
Step 3 is the turbo booster. This is the cheat code. If your main salary just isn't enough to get you to that high savings rate, you build a second income stream in your spare time. Freelancing, a side business, whatever. But here is the golden rule, the non-negotiable part. You live off your main salary, and 100% of the money from your accelerator goes straight into your investments. This is how you shave years, maybe even a whole decade off your timeline.
And that brings us to the last step. And, you know, I gotta be straight with you, this is the hardest one by far. It has nothing to do with spreadsheets or the stock market. It's all in your head. So here's the hard truth. To get truly wealthy and retire young, you're gonna have to look poor to your friends and neighbors. While they're financing the brand new car and upgrading their phone every single year to impress people they don't even like, you are going to be quietly buying your freedom. See, they are buying the appearance of wealth. You are building actual wealth. You have to become completely immune to what society calls status. So why? Why go through all this? Why save so hard and ignore what everyone else is doing? It's because the money is just the tool. It's not the goal. Let's talk about the real prize here.
When you really boil it all down, this whole intense journey, it isn't about getting some massive number to show up in your bank account. It's not about being able to call yourself a millionaire. It's about something so much more valuable than that.
And that just says it all, doesn't it? The goal is to wake up on a random Tuesday morning and have complete 100% ownership of your day, of your time, of your life, no alarm clock unless you feel like setting one, no miserable commute, no boss to answer to. That is the prize. That is what freedom actually looks like.
Look, the consumer system, it wants you spending. The financial system wants you working till you're old and gray. This plan, this is your escape hatch. If anything I just said made a little light bulb go off in your head, subscribe right now, because the system really doesn't want you to see what we're explaining next.